Hey, Bulls and Bears. Jayson Jaws here, also known as JJ. Thank you so much for joining me. We've got some economic news to get into today. But first, quick announcement. There's a few of you that were asking how I make the outro songs. And yes, I do all my own outro music. I originally started it because I was just worried about copyright. Because I heard about some other channels, they would use other people's music supposedly having permission, and then they would get in some sort of trouble with copyright. So I started making my own songs, and not many of you, but a few of you are asking, hey, how do you do the songs? I finally have a tutorial video out, link down in description, and it's a very basic, it's not going to be a very cool sounding song that I demonstrate there because it's so basic. It's just a very beginner introductory to making songs on this digital audio workstation that I use. So check out the link below if you'd like to make your own songs. It's pretty fun. All right. Also, one more thing before we get into the news. My last video, wow, you guys really beat me up on that one. I thought it would be good to share some investment insights, what I've been doing and doing the best in. But okay, I guess I got some negative feedback on that one, so I guess I won't share. I guess I won't be transparent in my investments anymore. All right, but I do appreciate those of you that at least listened to it, because a lot of people just gave thumbs down in the first like 30 seconds, which is pretty crazy, right? All right, let's get into the main topic here today. The price of food, specifically meat. It has gone up. Some estimates as high as 20%, some more for whatever different types of meat. But the hunters no longer seem crazy, do they? The hunters no longer seem crazy. You know, those people that go and do the killing and they hang up the deer and they hand out venison to their family and their friends and their neighbors. Yeah, those people. I grew up around a lot of those people, and I actually used to do some hunting back in Michigan, no longer here in California. But back in Michigan, I was from a community that was big on hunting. And yes, people strapped up their deer and they hauled deer on the top of their vehicle in their truck when they got one. If they got a buck, they would brag about how many point bucks they got. And it's not just senseless if you're doing it for food. Right now, I'm the type of person that I cannot just go hunting and just kill something just to kill something for sport. I cannot do that. If it's for food, that's a whole different story. But now with the price of meat, people are looking more towards their deer hunting pals. This is out of DNYUZ. Am I saying that right? Am I supposed to pronounce it Dinyuz? I don't know. Anyways, pretty cool article. Listen to this. And this is a story about a hunter, and there's tens of thousands of people just like him across the United States. Each year, he gets 6 or 7 deer, and he stocks up his family's freezer with venison chili, venison meatballs, venison sausage. They're all staples in his family's diet. Well, now what they've done is they've started a program called Hunters for the Hungry, or rather, Hunters Helping the Hungry. And what they do is they donate the meat to some of these food banks for needy families. And I think that's just pretty cool. Would you rather have meat that was grown on some factory farm somewhere that was probably fed steroids and all kinds of growth hormone? Or would you rather have meat of something that grew up in the wild, eating wild vegetation and whatnot? Right? It's a no-brainer, right? And listen to this. Since the start of this program, they've donated over 14,000, just under 15,000 deer, which is about 2.2 million quarter-pound servings of fresh, lean protein to New Jersey residents. And this is in eastern New Jersey. All right here, folks, this is the solution. Not just hunting, but self-sufficiency all around. Whether it's hunting, growing your own food, having useful skills that can help your friends and family and people in your community. And I think as we see this economy continue to go further and further into the twilight zone, and prices further and further sky high, you're going to see more people relying on themselves and hunters to put food on the table, literally. Right? And I know a lot of people, they look at hunters and they say, oh, those people are cruel. Well, at the same time, they're biting into a Big Mac with meat. Maybe it's meat, maybe it's not meat. They're biting into a hamburger from some food joint, and they don't know what's in it. They don't know if it's real meat, if it's processed. They don't know what type of farm the meat came from. Right? So it's pretty hypocritical that the people that are cutting down hunters and that type of lifestyle, are also eating meat that they don't know where the heck it came from. Pretty crazy, right? I remember growing up and just having food all around locally. And this was back in the 90s, back in Michigan, and we had family that hunted. My dad was a hunter. My grandpa was a hunter. I broke the trend. I moved to California. I am not a hunter. I am not a hunter. Well, actually, I take that back. We had a rat problem last year, and I was hunting rats. I didn't get any. Actually, I got some with the poison, but I didn't actually capture any or directly kill the rat. So I'm still hunting a little bit, but no, nothing like back in Michigan. There were deer hunters everywhere. People in the bright orange camouflage, so they don't get shot while they're out in the woods, because other hunters, can see them if they have the bright orange camo on. And I remember many, many times having venison that was turned into jerky, venison jerky. Absolutely delicious without hardly any additives. Some of it was in a smokehouse, stuff like that. One time somebody caught a wild snapping turtle and ended up cooking it up for one of our dinners. I guess they gave it to my dad, and I don't know, he traded them something, I don't know. I know my dad, he probably just bought him some beer, and we ended up getting wild snapping turtle for dinner one night, and they didn't tell me until after I was eating it, and I couldn't tell much of a difference. As a kid, I was just eating it, and just one of the examples, of how we can be more self-sufficient. And yes, as food prices continue to skyrocket, we're going to see more people turn to hunting and more people turn to hunters. If you know somebody in the neighborhood that hunts and they have some good venison, you might want to make friends with that person and see what you can do for that person to maybe trade some venison, especially if we continue to see this outrageous food cost just continuing to go up and up and up. And we've reported here over the past few weeks and over the past few years, but especially here recently, the shortages at some of these food banks. And this is what's going to be a lifeline for a lot of people, is hunting and self-sufficiency. Isn't it funny how something that we all can do or learn how to do, growing food, hunting, something that we all have the ability to do, or most of us anyways, or unless you're handicapped or something, we don't do it. We outsource it. We just say, okay, we're just going to buy this from the store, no problem. It's always going to be there. The shelves are always going to be packed full, right? And prices are never going to go up, right? All right, and my guess is that the idiots that are running things, they're going to raise the fees on hunting licenses. First of all, you have to get a license for hunting. That's just ludicrous just in itself. But yeah, they're probably going to go ahead and raise all the licensing fees once they see all the new people that are trying to get hunting licenses. And with all the panic buying and the rising prices, maybe we should all think about, do we have somebody in our family that hunts? Do we hunt ourselves? Do we want to learn how to hunt? Here in California, there's not much that I'm going to be hunting. Or actually, I might just cook up some rat stew. Not after poisoning the rat. No, don't eat that. But there are some countries where rats are on the menu. And I actually found this out through a TV show called Locked Up Abroad. It's where people get in trouble in foreign countries and they get thrown into these awful foreign prisons. And one episode in particular, I think it was Colombia. And they got caught trying to smuggle some stuff, and they got served some sort of rat dinner. I don't know if it was stew or what. All right, but this is out of BBC. While rats are met with revulsion in most parts of the world, some communities put rodents' pride of place on dinner menu. It goes on here. Rodent meat is the most delicious and the best meat they can imagine. All right, hey, maybe I should take my California rat hunting more seriously. Right, so big props and shout outs to all the hunters out there, all the people that are self sufficient and in many different ways. I'm going to wrap this one up. Please let me know what you think down in comments. I really appreciate you being here. And also, if you just want to listen to the outro songs, there's a link down below to a playlist of all the outro songs, the full songs. See, I'm not all doom and gloom. I like to have fun sometimes. Peace.